That's my home page, and look for item 80 under publications, and that is where that is written up in English. Actually, it now appeared in Ivrit also, so you have an Ivrit translation under in the translations part of the publications. But I will leave it at that this evening because I don't have time to cover this in more detail. I want to go on to the next item, a matter of consistent fair division. This is a very interesting Mishnah in Ketuvot, Daf Tzadi Gimel Amud Aleph. Misha היה נשוי 3 נשים ומת, כתובתה של זו מנה ושל זו 200 ושל זו 300, ואין שם אלא מנה חולקין בשווה. היו שם 200, של מנה נוטלת 50, ושל 200 ו300 שלושה של זהב. היו שם 300, של מנה נוטלת 50, ושל 200 מנה, ושל 300 6 של זהב. Here's the translation. If a man with 3 wives dies, and one has a ketuvah of 100 zuz, one of 200 and one of 300, and there's only 100 in the estate, then the 3 women divide equally. If there's 200 in the estate, then the one of 100 takes 50, and those of 200 and 300 take 75 each. If there's 300, then the woman who has a ksuva of 100 takes 50, the one of 200 takes 100, and the one of 300 takes 150. Ksuvas 93a, Mishnah there. It's a very strange Mishnah, and just to have it in front of our eyes, here it is, in tabular form. So if the estate is just 100, they divide equally. If the estate is 300, they divide proportionally. Okay? Now, each of those methods of division makes sense, but they're not consistent with each other. Yes. Well, what's the general rule? If you have, is it equal division or is it proportional division? And in the case of 200, it's in fact neither. It's not proportional, it's not equal. So what is it? What's the general rule? A very, very strange Mishnah. Here again, this is a very it's a long, big discussion, and I only want to give it to you on just the tip of the iceberg of this discussion, or maybe I should call it the bottom line. To understand this, we have to go back to the rule of Shnayim Ochzin B'Talis. 2 people come to court, and they're both holding on to a garment, a talis. And one says it's all mine, and the other one says half of it is mine. He doesn't claim all of it, he only claims half of it. Then the Mishnah says, divide 75-25. Okay, divide 3/4, 1/4. Why 3/4, 1/4? So Rashi explains over there that the reason for dividing 3/4, 1/4 is because on half of the talis there's no argument, right? The one who says half of it is mine cedes half of the talis to the other one, to the one that says kulo shali. So what's the argument about? The argument is about half the talis. You have an argument about something split 50-50. Okay? So on half of the talis is split 50-50. So each one gets 1/4. The other half goes all to the one that said kulo sheli. So the result is 3/4, 1/4. The principle over here is equal division of the contested amount. And now what I want to suggest for this Mishnah, and this is work not just of your humble servant, but of Professor Michael Mashler, Zichrono Livrocha, who died about half a year ago, and your humble servant. And what we suggest in this case is that all three divisions over here have the property that any two women divide what they together get in accordance with the principle of equal division of the contested amount. The principle of Shnayim Aumann. Let me give you just one example. I'll take the example of the woman who has a ksuva of 100 and the woman who has a ksuva of 300, those two, in the case when the estate is 200. Okay? So the Balas HaMeah, the one who has a ksuva of 100, that's the first column, in the second row, she gets 50, according to this. The other one, or again in the second row, the third column, she gets 75, right? Together, how much do they get? 125, right? They get together 125. Now, let's say that they want to divide this 125 between them according to the principle of Shnayim Aumann, of equal division of the contested amount. So what is the contested amount? The contested amount is 100. Because the woman who has a ksuva of 100, she doesn't claim 125. She claims only 100. So she cedes 25 to the other woman. How much is left? What is then the contested amount? It's 100. This is divided equally between them. So the first one gets 50, and the last one gets 50. Plus 25 is 75. So you get back exactly these numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, this may sound that no matter what you do, you get back the numbers. But that's not true. There's only one way in this Mishnah, for each of these estates, for each of the three estates, there's only one way of dividing the estate so that any two women divide what they together get in accordance with the principle of Shnayim Aumann. And that's what's in this Mishnah. And not only with these amounts, but no matter how large the estate is, no matter what the ksuvas are, no matter how many women there are, even if there are 1,000 women, like by Shlomo HaMelech, it doesn't matter. There's always a way of dividing the estate in order to fulfill this principle, and there's only one way. There's always one and only one way. In these three examples, this is the way in the Mishnah. So, Mashler, Zichrono Livrocha, and your humble servant suggested this is it, but then we also support this by a lot of sources in the Talmud, in the Rishonim, and so on. So, I think I have exceeded my time by 5 minutes, and I'm very grateful to you for listening, for those of you who did listen. And I'll be delighted to take questions if there are any.
Yeah, sure.